So we're going to be looking at the legal personnel, right? So the personnel of the court system and etc. Right? So can you guys just list some of the roles that you have within the legal profession? We're going to be looking at 16 of them. So what are the different things, roles that we have? What are the different positions that we have in the legal system? Anyone? What are the different legal professions that we have? Okay, so somebody is sitting in the chat. All right, so Zaria had the judge, lawyer, mediator, attorney general, judges, lawyer, aides. All right, interesting paralegal, registrars, marshals, bailiff. Okay, anything else? Here's the big names now. The ones that are appointed, right, by the country. The chief justice, all right, the prosecutor, the DPP, the attorney general, right. So all different persons, right. So I'm gonna list them, right. Hold on. So let's look at this, right? We're gonna talk about the role of defense counsel and prosecutor. We'll look at legal ethics, right? So the attorney general, right? We know what the role of them is, right? They're the chief legal advisor to the government, right? And represents the government in matters of civil law, right? So advising that they are responsible for advising the government departments on legal issues representing the state in civil litigation, overseeing prosecutions, drafting legislation, and upholding the rule of law. The Director of Public Prosecutions, the DPP, is responsible for prosecuting criminal offences on the behalf of the state. Right? So have that they're reviewing evidence, deciding whether to initiate criminal proceedings, directing investigation, preparing and presenting cases in court, and ensuring fair and effective prosecution of criminal matters. Right? So that's what the DPP is for. The Solicitor General assists the Attorney General in legal matters and may act as the Attorney General in their absence. So they provide legal advice to the governmental departments as well, representing the state in appellate courts, assisting in drafting legislation and coordinating legal matters with the Attorney General's office. Solicitor General. All right. We have the state lawyers or Crown Counsel. The state lawyers, also known as Crown Counsel, represent the state in legal proceedings and provide legal advice to the government departments, right? So their functions, they prosecute criminal cases, representing the state in civil litigation, advising government agencies on legal matters, and upholding the interests of the state in legal proceedings, right? So when I was doing this in 2021, it was the Queen's Counsel, and now it's the King's Counsel. All right. The Chancellor, this is for Guyana though, right? So the role of the Chancellor is to be the head of the judiciary in Guyana and presides over the Court of Appeal. So their function, they're administrating the judicial system, supervising appellate proceedings, assigning cases to appellate judges, and ensuring the efficient operation of the Court of Appeal. So that is the use of the Chancellor. That is for Guyana. Alright. And Trinidad has a president of the court. The president of the court is the head of the judiciary in Trinidad and Tobago and presides over the Supreme Court, administering the judicial system, supervising trial proceedings, assigning cases to judges, and ensuring the efficient operation of the Supreme Court. And this is rather similar to the Chief Justice. It's the same thing as the president, but what they call it is the president of the court. So appellate judges now, right? The role of appellate judges is to hear appeals from lower courts and review decisions for errors of law or procedure. So they are the ones that really come through with the appellate jurisdiction, right? And they also help sometimes in judicial review. Sometimes, right? Functions: reviewing trial court decisions, considering legal arguments, presented by parties, applying legal principles to their to facts of the case, and issuing appellate judgments. Right? The Chief Justice now, the Chief Justice is the highest ranking judicial officer in a jurisdiction and presides over the highest court in the land, which is generally the Supreme Court. Right? So generally now, the Supreme Court, the person who presides over the Supreme Court is the Chief Justice. In Trinidad, they are known as the President of the Court. Right? Functions now, the administrating the judicial system, setting administrative policies, assigning cases to judges, presiding over en banc hearings, and representing the judiciary. Right? That's their role there. We also have puisne judges, or what we call high court judges. So puisne judges, also known as high court judges, preside over trials and hear matters in high courts. Right? So they conduct trials, hearing motions and applications, right? Interpreting and applying the law, rendering judgments, and upholding the principles of justice and fairness. Right? So we have that there. So these could also encompass the justices, right? You'd have different justices. You have the Chief Justice, and then you have the justices that serve on the Supreme Court with the Chief Justice. Right? We have the Chief Magistrates now. So the Chief Magistrates oversee the administration of the magisterial courts and provide leadership to the magistrates. So they supervise magisterial courts, assigning cases to magistrates, ensuring compliance with procedural requirements, and promoting efficiency and fairness in court proceedings. That's the use of the Chief Magistrates. And then we have the magistrates now. The magistrates preside over lower courts and adjudicate on minor criminal offenses, civil disputes, and other legal matters. Their function, they're usually the person that we see in regular cases, right? Regular courtrooms, right? Hearing cases, evaluating evidence, applying relevant laws, issuing rulings, and imposing sentences and remedies as appropriate. Right, so those are their functions. Court marshals now. Court marshals maintain order and security within courtrooms, enforce court directives, and assist judicial officers. Right, so they ensure courtroom decorum and escorting defendants, witnesses, and jurors, executing court orders, and providing logistical support during court proceedings. Bailiffs now. Bailiffs execute court orders, serve legal documents, and provide security within court premises. So their general function is to serving summonses, subpoenas, and other legal documents, executing warrants, seizing property as directed by the court orders, and ensuring the safety of the court personnel and visitors. Right? Registrars manage court records, schedules, and administrative functions within court registries. So they maintain case files, record court proceedings, managing court dockets and calendars, and issuing court orders and subpoenas, and actually providing administrative support to the judicial officers. Right? We also have clerks. Right? So court clerks assist judicial officers and provide administrative support within courtrooms and registries. So their function, assisting with court filings, scheduling hearings and trials, recording court proceedings, and managing. Right? That's generally what they do as court clerks. Right? We also have orderlies. Orderlies provide support services within courtrooms, ensuring smooth and efficient functioning during legal proceedings. So they maintain courtroom decorum. They assist judicial officers, attorneys, litigants with logistical needs, right? Distributing documents, exhibits, and evidence as directed by the proceeding judge. Assisting with the setup and operation of audiovisual equipment and presentations, and providing general assistance and support to the court personnel and visitors if needed. And the last one that I have here is the police prosecutor. The police prosecutors represent law enforcement agencies in criminal proceedings and assist in the prosecution of criminal cases, right? So they The functions now: investigating criminal offenses, gathering evidence, and preparing cases for prosecution. They represent the state in court proceedings, including bail hearings, arraignments, and trials. They presenting evidence, examining witnesses, and making legal arguments on behalf of prosecution, negotiating plea agreements with defense counsel, and making sentencing recommendations to court. Also collaborating with other law enforcement agencies, victim advocates, right, and legal professionals to ensure the fair and effective prosecution of criminal cases, right? So these are generally the roles of 16 of these officials, right? So police prosecutors, orderlies, clerks, registrars, bailiffs, right? Court marshals. We have the magistrates, the chief magistrate, the puisne judges are the high court judges, the chief justice, appellate judges, the president of the court for Trinidad and Tobago, the chancellor for Guyana, crown counsel, solicitor general, the director of public prosecutions, and the attorney general. All right. So those are generally the functions of these different personnel within the legal system. All right. Any questions or concerns thus far? Any issues so far? Go ahead.
Good day, sir. Was just wondering if it's possible where you could share the PowerPoint or the information you're reading from.
Yeah, I can.
Okay, thank you.
All right. So it's possible.